All right. We are streaming live and direct here at the Roundtable Podcast Show. What's going on, family? Good peoples. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Oh, yeah, I feel the energy now. It's going to be a good show this evening.
Yes.
Woo.
Well, as you know, we always come bringing the positive side of media to you, and we get the opportunity to sit with an amazing individual this evening. But I don't even want to introduce him yet because I'm going to let Pitbull in the dress have the honors to do so. But I do have to introduce, first and foremost, the lady of the house, Pitbull in the dress. It's your girl, Melissa Bartlett. What's going on, sis?
Hey, family. Hey, brothers. How are you guys doing? You have no idea how much I was looking forward to the show tonight. Super excited about our guests. Super excited about just seeing some of the work that he's done, having the actual opportunity to say, oh. So, yeah, I was like super excited about our guest tonight. And everything is everything for me. I'm having have some family in town. And I'm blessed to be able to spend this time, even though I'm still working. It's nothing like having your family around you. So I'm super, super blessed to have that today, really throughout the rest of the week. And yeah, I'm ready to get started. So Money's next. Let's get your introductions on. Hey.
Yes.
What's going on, family?
Money. Wait a minute, but why do we call him A Money, though?
Because A Money is the guy who brings us the facts. And when he brings it to you, you can bank
on it. Yes, indeed.
I appreciate it, family.
All right.
I'm looking forward to the night as well, and hanging out with y'all and getting this cranking.
Yes.
And last but not least, once again, the man that stirs the drink, the conductor, man, Kerry Disby, Mr. Urban.
Hello. Again, thank you, family. We appreciate all of y'all chiming in this evening on At the Roundtable Podcast Show. First and foremost, before we get cranking, and I turn it over to the Pitbull herself, we have to give a definitely special shout out to everyone because today is Veterans Day. Thank you for your service. All right, it goes unrecognized. It is because of your service we have those things we call freedom. So thank you once again.
No doubt.
Yes, absolutely. And tonight, family, we have a special guest. A lot of you guys, if you haven't had an opportunity to watch the trailer, you're gonna do like I did and go, oh my goodness, oh wow, oh yeah, I remember, I've seen, oh wow. So now I'm extra like giddy and extra excited because yeah, you get to have someone relatable that you may have seen on different television shows, not on your local stations either, television shows. I'm talking about major networks with major shows that you tuned in and watched, okay? So we have in the house tonight, Mr. Dontai Keith. Mr. Dontai Keith, if you haven't, you know what, I'm not even going to go into that because that's going to go into our questions, but he is a actor. He has blessed us with several pieces to show his talent, his skill, his gift. And he is blessing us with now some written word with a novel. So I'm not going to give out that information either. We're going to have you tune in and keep watching to get that information. So guys, let's give it up for Mr. Dontai Keith.
Yes, indeed. What's going on, brother?
What's going on? How you guys doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
Yes, indeed.
Listen. I need y'all to spunk up this volume. How y'all doing tonight?
Yes, indeed.
We're great.
Yes. Especially when you did the snaps. Yes.
I am loud.
Uh-oh. I told you, man, you better be careful. The bite.
Right, that's good. I'm doing good tonight. I'm definitely excited about the interview. I was pleased just to get an invite. And when I received the email, I was like, oh man, they want to interview me. So I was nervous today, but then again, like I think I was more excited about the questions and just the feedback of reviews, you know, because with you guys, I looked you up on Facebook and I love the energy that you bring to the table, and at the round table is where it's at. So we're going to talk about it tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes. Thank you.
That is what's up. Shouts out to Miss Frazier. She has chimed in. She did one of these numbers. We appreciate it. We got Kelly Keith just chimed in as well. Whoop whoop. And we got to give a shout out to Charlie Toots, one of our biggest supporters. She definitely coming in saying hello, and Listen, Mayhan Yanessa Mack Jr. has chimed in, giving claps.
All right.
Mayhem.
Mr. Key.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so who's going to start this thing off? Because, I mean, this is going to be energetic. If you don't know about this brother, I'm going to tell you, if you check out his work, like Sis said, it is amazing. And what he's going to bless us with this evening as well with his latest project. So which one? Do we go with the pit bull or do we go with the man that you can bank on, who's going to go ahead and start things
Let's
off?
let A Money start it off. I always start it off, and you know, sometimes I don't know how to give it back. So let's go ahead and let's let A Money start it off.
Well, Mr. Keith, let's start off with just giving a little background on yourself, because I know Pitbull was just about to touch on some stuff, but she wanted to hold back a little bit. So for the people out there who haven't had an opportunity to get a chance to look at some of your successful movies and your other endeavors, why don't you give a little brief description on yourself?
Well, I'm 31 years old. My name is Ernest Dontai Keith. And what really triggered me when I was a kid, I was actually very good with my hands. And I used to draw a lot. So that's one of my niches. It's my muse. And so, you know, just as a kid, I used to always draw. I mean, every time you see me, I was drawing. And so one day I went to a recreational center in my mom's neighborhood. And I remember I drew Bart Simpson getting out the car and his dad going into the house. And it was very descriptive, and I didn't think I was going to win anything. But what I did win was a hockey trophy. And that was my first prize I ever won as a kid, because they didn't really expect anyone to do so good. They had to go find a trophy that they wasn't using, and they gave it to me. And I was like, a hockey trophy? I don't play hockey. But what it stood to me was just definition of who I am and who I could become. Like when people don't see your vision, they reward you for something that maybe you seen that they didn't see. Mm-hmm. And for that to me as a kid, I think I was maybe like 7 years old, and I won the trophy. But what really clicked in me was like, you know, maybe your artwork will take you further, and maybe anything you do with your hands, it will be a masterpiece. And so, like I said, I'm a military cat. My dad was in the military for 27, 28 years. He retired. So I lived a very structured life, but to the point that I wasn't going to become a sheep.
Yes. And
I became the shepherd in my own life, and I didn't follow the military path. So I wouldn't be who I am today if I have been a sheep. Well, I should say that. So who I am today is pretty much the structure that I've grown up from, but the mentality has grown and matured with me over time. And I've done so many pieces. I drew for people. I drew tattoos I drew my dreams on paper. And people would say, I want that on my body. And they would ask me for consent to get it on their body. And I'm like, it withdrew me back to that moment when I got that trophy. Like, this is going to be something masterful that you can't even explain when you ask the question. Like, I really don't know how to explain to you guys, but just to see your work being exalted on people's bodies and people's houses, on people's the displays is amazing to me. And so, like, what I thought about as a kid, that if I would bring anything I do, I would bring to the table, it's going to be, you know, exhilarating to the point you're going to want more. You're going to want more and more. And the more questions you ask me, I'm going to give you more and more and more.
Hey, so that's what we like to hear.
That's
yes,
right.
Indeed. Open book.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you. So,
Pitbull.
Me?
Giving you an opening.
Give me an opening. So just from that, I have so many other questions to come up. But my original question was, with the work that you've done, and you know how you see someone on something, this is a sidebar, family. You know how you see an actor or an actress and you go, they stand out, you know, whether it's a small role or whether it's a major role. And it's something about them and you're like, okay, yeah, that's how I feel about Dontai. Okay, because after getting the email ourselves, and Carrie saying, "Oh, you know, the next guest is this guy," and we get the bio from your production company, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!" Like I remember your face, I saw it, and I was just like, "Okay, probably on Ballers and Under the Dome the most." Just a little something where you're like, something sticks in your mind. You put a pin in it with that person. So I would like to say that you have favor on your life. You have favor on everything that you touch and on everything that you do, that you get to execute an art form. And that is why it picks up and you stick out and you're remembered and you're recognized, because that's something that no one can give you, no one can prepare you for. You're born with it.
Right.
So that's my sidebar. Let me go into my question. So my question is, when you are preparing, reviewing, and before you accept a role, and you get, if those roles have some type of a background, some type of a story to kind of help you feel what that character is at in the story. Do you see any of those similarities to your own personal characteristics? And does that help you, you know, really become that person? And does it then have that role stick with you after you're done with the
Ah,
role?
that's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one particular role I took, and I had to become like an Australian. I took a class when I was in California, and I had to become an Australian. My voice had to change, so I had to kind of talk like this to tell you what was over there. So it's like you have to become the role, but you also got, like, it's about listening. You got to have keen listening skills. So when you have to talk and take on a personality, a role, when I do auditions, it's like I want to become the person's voice. I want to become their figment of movement, because when you're looking at a director's standpoint, they're looking for facial expressions, and that's how you give natural reaction. And so they, when you're taking the role, you got to really remember your lines, of course, but to remember who you are as a person and who you're trying not to become. So I try not to be myself so much in the role, because I figure if I be myself and then I don't be like the person I'm trying to betray, it won't be like a study of my craft. So like I've heard from some celebrities that it's kind of hard to play yourself in a role because you're overdoing and overthinking it.
Mm.
I did a movie with a good friend of mine in Atlanta, and he chose me to do the role because he said the same thing you said. You look like you can do this. And the fact is, I went in on I was doing Zoom calls. I went in and doing Zoom calls. I was so natural, but then when I started reading my lines, he said, "You're overdoing it." D, he said, "D, you're doing it already. You don't have to do it so much." And I said, like, and so he'll call me afterwards. He'll give me so much feedback. As Booker Snow, he's in Atlanta. Shout out Booker. He would tell me all the time. He said, "Dontai, if you just go with the flow of who you really are naturally, and let the words just fluently come out your mouth progressively, everything would be flying." So when I did we did a shoot out here in Charlotte, and I was just saying the role, just saying my lines perfectly. And he was like, "See, I told you, you had it. Just let it flow." So it's almost like when you have to play yourself, just be natural. But like, it's kind of hard doing a role that you have to become someone else, because like you have to really study. Like this is a shout out to Denzel as well, because when he took on the role to become Malcolm X, it said he took him almost 2 years to really get that role down, that Spike Lee had to just let him be on some of the scenes, and some of the scenes are just added scenes because he became the character, and that was who he was. Like, he became Malcolm X.
Right.
And he's such a good demeanor person to really study from, because you can't get no higher than Denzel. His acting traits, his accolades are just there. So to narrow down from the question, when I do go into a character, I try to study Denzel's movements. his body language, his facial recognition, like what does he do? Because when you read into a character's body language, it says so much more without opening your mouth.
And most actors do have a signature body language that you will see. If you're a fan, you've watched so much of their work, you'll go, up there it is, up there it is. And Denzel is one of the ones that is definitely one of my favorites, and I always, you know, notice that. And you're right, he takes it to a whole nother level. And I forget what I was just watching recently, the scene where he goes to see Elijah Muhammad, and he meets him, and he cries, and he had just buried his father in real life, and he drew from that emotion,
right?
Because you know Malcolm X was looking at the Dr. Elijah Muhammad as a father figure, and so watching the movie again, that scene will have so much more meaning to me because of having that backstory. So yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Oh man, shouts out to Mahogany Tabiti. She just joined us on At the Roundtable Podcast Show. What's going on, Hoggy? Oh, okay. Hi, cousin. Rashani Petway. Okay. Got family coming in, somebody. Okay. Thank you for joining us tonight on At the Roundtable Podcast Show, where we have Mr. Dontai Keefe. Oh man, I don't even want to say triple threat. He's quadruple. And
yeah.
Hey, Money, what's the number after quadruple?
I'll get back with you on that.
Okay,
I'll get back with you on that.
Bank on it.
Yeah. Oh man.
So I'll get back with you on that one.
There you go. So Dontai, let me ask you this in regards to your craft. What would you say was a driving force or inspiration to you in order to be that actor or be that producer or filmmaker?
Honestly, to narrow it down, my mom. Like I lost my mom when I was 9 years old, and I'm 31 now, and it took me till I was 22 to find out really who I was and my purpose in this world. And for the blessing of my mom that she left an impact on me and my heart and my brother, it's like she really drove me, because her last words, I remember to this day, whatever you do in life, make sure your children will not have to struggle, and you do everything with full meaning. And with that being said, everything I do has to have a meaning. It has full potential. Of course, it has a purpose. And without God, without a will, He leads the way. So I would say the inspiration that leads me from everything I've done is my mother, because a lot of things I've done, she saved me from decision making. Just her ministry to me as a kid and her personality. Like, you see the smile, I get the smile from her. Like, and people always tell me, you have so much aura over you, and these are strangers, complete strangers. And they say, like, someone's watching you real, like, right beside you. And, just to piggyback off that, I'm gonna give you another story. I was in October 15, 2015, I was diagnosed with Graves' disease, hypothyroidism. I played semi-pro football, and I was weighing around like 195. And I was in Raleigh. I was starting a charity in Raleigh, North Carolina. And I was literally in my bed, and I couldn't go to sleep. I had insomnia, but I had an out-of-body experience. And who other than the woman upstairs, my mother, was trying to push me to wake me up to go to the hospital. Why? Because I was having a thyroid storm. I went to the hospital, and the doctor said, had you not come in the hospital 30 minutes before, your heart would have exploded.
Okay.
I instantly cried, because my life has purpose to it.
Right.
Yeah.
And she seen that, and had I tried to go to sleep, I would have probably died in my sleep. And so the meaning behind every single thing I put down on paper, for every cross or mental telepathy thought that comes in my head, is due diligence of my mother. Because without her and the full structure of my father as well, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be the man I am today. So the meaning behind everything I do is purposely like intuition wise. It's because the way my mother and my father, they put infrastructure in my life as a kid. And so the dying words of my mother, like I said, I use that phrase today when I talk to my patients, when I talk to peers, strangers, and friends. When there's a will, there is a way. And every day I make a way to make a difference, make purpose in someone else's life besides my own. I make a will to walk out this house, and I'll find my way back with prayer, with guidance, and structure. So anything you do in life, you got to have a meaning behind it. Make sure you have a purpose with it. You have the willpower to go through whatever storm, whatever difficulties, whatever trials and tribulations that come in front of you, because there's a meaning and there's a purpose for everybody in this world. And this book, when I tell you, the relation that people can relate to through mental, through everything, like you said, Denzel lost his father while going to Elijah Muhammad. So that was his will to cry, to use that to grasp who he was as a character. And her will, and my willpower today is the infrastructure of my mother and her loss. But she ain't gone. She's here. She is here through every piece of work that I put foundation on this earth. And that's it. Just you gotta have a meaning. You gotta have a purpose. You gotta have willpower. You gotta have it.
Man.
That gave me chills.
Won't he do? That's what's up. Kelly Keith, thank you for joining. She said, yes, sir. And
that's my wife. Shout out, baby.
Shout out to her. That's all right.
That's what's
Queen
up.
joining you.
The Queen joining you. Yes.
Right.
Nana McDowell, thank you for joining us on that round table. You getting prayer, hands, and everything, brother. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you all. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Pitbull.
Yes.
What you got for him? Oh, hey, Terry. Thank you for joining us on at the round table. She just chimed in, Terry Digsby. Thank you.
Terry.
Hey, Terry.
Actually, that was one of my questions as well, because especially after hearing the introduction of the artist aspect as far as drawing and having different work, how did that cross over into acting? So that was actually one of my questions. So I'll go with this one. What was your first role or favorite role that you've done so far?
Oh, I ain't that old, but let me go way back.
All right now.
One of my funnest roles, I should say, I was actually in high school. And I played Michael Jackson because I was the only kid in the school that could do the moonwalk.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so when I put on my little Jerry curl wig and my little tight glitter jacket, busting out the high tie white socks and the black shoes, that was one of my favorite moments, because just to hear the crowd, like, they can relate because they know Michael Jackson. Like, I love to give people something they can relate to. I can't give you no false accusations. That's just I'm real, and I'm a big teddy bear because I love people to see who I am. It's the authenticity of everything I do. So, like, I would say Michael Jackson, but the best role I took on, oh man, I just did a movie called Holla. You know, I'm not sure if I can promote it yet, but I'm sorry. But
I'm getting trouble.
But you heard it first here on At the Round Table.
Yeah.
I did a movie, and that was the one I just did. It was pretty dope. Like, just a storyline behind it, because I got to actually be myself. I was really like a smooth criminal. You know, I was a guy who was just myself, being myself. You know, just loving and digging it. You know, I got a book of Snow. He calling me right now. I'm sorry, he probably heard me. I'm sorry, Buck. You know, I was just being myself. That was one of my favorite roles I did. You know, just being myself and just knowing that, you know, I can go with the flow of being who I am. You know, who I am originally, who I am personally. And so like I said, being Michael Jackson, you know, and like just being myself, like giving people what they want. And that's just originality.
That's what's up. All right, so I've got to plug this in real quick. I'll be remiss not to do so, but I was definitely sharing this with many people and saying, hey, we got the actor, filmmaker, producer, and author Dontai Key. And then someone just plugged in the best family man and husband.
Oh,
yes,
that's the best one of them all, right there, baby.
Exactly, that's what I was saying. That trumps them all.
That's it right there. That's
I'm pretty sure that came from Queen Kelly.
Yes.
Yes, it did.
You know it.
Yes, it did.
Okay.
Oh man. So quick question again, since she asked that one, I have one. In regards to what's been going on with, you know, COVID and such, has that stopped your creativity? Because I mean, you do multiple things. You do multiple things. I mean, you're multi-talented, but how's this affected you, per se?
COVID actually, in many ways, COVID has helped a lot of people that I've encountered with, because I try to talk to people for COVID reasons. And I'm gonna break it down for you. COVID has literally let everyone find out who you are as a person, what your personal foundation may be, and it could be. Because how many people that you know that make masks now?
Good point.
How many people you know that bedazzle t-shirts, drawing paint, detailing cars? Now you see more pet mobiles, people coming to your house to clean your dogs and cut your grass. You see more entrepreneurs now than you probably seen in 2019.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's true.
So COVID has helped me much, because in a mental standpoint, you got time to think. Because I'm gonna lay something on everybody, right? If you chime in at the round table, even the host, I'm gonna put something like this: when you're going through any struggle in life, you cannot let your struggle take the throne. You put the man upstairs.
Hold on, we gotta have you say that again.
Yeah, drop it one more time.
Say that one more time, please.
One more time.
When you're going through any struggle in life, you cannot let your problems take the throne, because that's how you get worried. Then you start worrying about your finances. You start worrying about your family. You start worrying about your health. You start worrying about bills. You start worrying about everything else, and that becomes your mental strain. And the last and first thing you don't do is pray. So COVID has been a blessing to the U.S., if you think about it. Not to say the deaths, because of course we mourn the people that lost their families. But on a more spiritual side, you got to think about this. Now they can look over and what did they leave you behind that you can carry on and say, this person taught me, this person led the way, this person did that. In COVID, I had a dream through COVID, and it was a nightmare. And I thought about, I died, but I said, I can't die and not put this book out. I can't die and not get this film out. I can't die and not leave something that somebody said, like, Dontai did say that. He wasn't only known for his personality, for his pretty smile. He was known for his mental, for his word, his powerful words, his movement through people, through verbiage. And so I'm telling you, anything you do through COVID, you gotta make that your foundation. This is the year that you have to show who you are as a person for your purpose in the walk of life. And so, like I said, my originality, I want to give people something that they can relate to. So COVID has taught me to become a better parent. COVID has taught me a lot about patience. It's taught me the due diligence of organization. Thank you, Kelly Keith.
What's up?
And it taught me a lot of things about just putting things out in the atmosphere. There's too much time in the day for people to be always on Facebook, always worrying, always doing something they got no business doing, out buying certain things. Put it on paper, because I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna tell you the truth. If you put something on paper to remind you, you can't forget because you see it. Because we're so drawn to trying to remember things every day. That's how the world is now. It's all at a touch of a button. But like grandma used to say, don't go get no bank account. Put that money in your sock and put it up under your bed. You never forget it's there. Trust me. If you put something on paper and you put it in front of your face everywhere you see it, you will not forget to do it. So I had this book. I had Intent to Win around my house, on the table, coming down the steps, on the shelves, in the microwave, in the bathroom, anywhere I can put it at. If I'm brushing my teeth, I'm like this. Like, okay, I gotta do that today. Okay, we're gonna get that done today. You know, you gotta be original with it. You gotta make yourself happy while doing what you meant to be doing. And while doing it, I make people laugh. I make people love themselves. I make people go love their families more, because there's a lot of death in life that you see throughout COVID. Well, how about your mental health? You cannot be wealthy in spirit and health if you are not wealthy inside, period. And it all starts up here. If your mind and your heart is in sync throughout COVID or anything else, you have to make sure you put a foundation and let people know what your purpose is on this earth.
Well, this cat been dropping quotes.
I know.
Dropping knowledge, boy.
I don't have a
Dropping
pen and I don't
knowledge.
have a piece of paper. I'm trying to write. I'm mentally writing this down
We're recording this.
because
so.
I'll be watching this back and making notes.
We're recording this. Shouts out to April Benson. Okay. Hey. Shouts out to April Benson. Thank you for joining us for the Roundtable Podcast show. Oh, April. I know April. Gotta give a shout out. Never Too Young Productions. Gotta plug that. That. Much work you've done with them and such, and they showing you love on here right now.
I'm looking at. Okay, I just now chimed in on it. Look at he's talking about he not lying. I found one on the fridge.
Yes. She telling on you now. See, they give you love and then they tell on you. See, gotta love the queens. So that's what's up. So, A Money. I see the wheels turning.
Oh man, it's turning because this cat keep dropping nuggets everywhere, man. I'm sitting up here deciphering everything that he's been dropping, man, giving me goosebumps.
I may have to give you the paper towel about it.
All of that.
Pull out the handkerchiefs. Pull out the clouds.
Yes, sir. Hey, real quick before I get into my next question for you. When last asked, I would ask what come after quadruple. Quintuple.
Thank you, man. Boy, bank on him. Bank on him.
Hey.
Yeah,
it is.
I'm gonna get you a gavel that say bank on it.
Okay.
I
like that.
Oh, that's a good one.
I appreciate that. I appreciate
that. He keep blessing us, man. I'm telling you, we gotta have him on the show again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, you were briefly talking about your most recent book. So, if you don't mind, why don't we Intent to Win? For our viewers out there, could you describe what the book is entailed?
Well, I have it right here. You see that?
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Intent to Win it came to me in 2015, maybe before that, I believe. I was talking to a cat named Dury Burns on a plane going to California, and as a good friend of mine, I was talking to him on a plane. I told him about I got a vision, and he was like, "What is it?" So I talked to him on the plane. And he was like, "Well, whatever you do, man, with that vision, make sure you put it on paper. You keep going. You keep going." And so I worked in the oil field 2016, and I looked up in the clouds, and I kid you not, I said, "God, give me something I can put on paper that people can relate to." That's it. I went to sleep. And I literally woke up that night around 3:25, 3:25, between 3:25, 3:37. I remember it vaguely. And I just started writing. And I wrote, and I thought I was done within like 3 days. And this synopsis was only supposed to be a 7 to 10 minute short film, like a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, bank on it, money moment. And I was like, that's good, that's real good. And then it just kept coming. When you ask God for something, He's gonna keep giving it to you. It's an overflow of abundance, baby. And you can't ask for something that you didn't expect.
That's right.
Because you have to expect what you ask for. And when He gives it to you, you better be ready to run or roll or get it. So, and I just kept writing, I kept writing. And I kept on, everyone seen the movie 8 Mile?
Yes.
With Rabbit? Every time you seen him, he had a pen and some paper. And I'll be out at restaurants and I'll be writing stuff on napkins, on receipt paper. I got a drawer full of like just knowledge. And I just kept writing and I thought I was done until one day, me and my wife was supposed to go out on a date. And she was my first review. And I let her read the first page. And she said, babe, I don't think we can go. I said, why? And she said, because you got me reading this book and it's too darn good to leave right now. That was her reaction. And I was like, really, you like it? She said, babe, it's good. And it inspired me to put more emphasis in what I was doing. And she was my first review. She gave my goods, my ins, my outs, my takeaways, my put in, everything. And so Intent to Win is about a boy named Tristan Hines. It's all fictional. He's a national scout in basketball, #1 in the nation. And he's put between a rock and a hard place between his mom getting diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and his dad getting shot in a drive-by shooting. On the same day, he gets his acceptance letter into college. So you tell me, can you do it? I don't know if I could. It's like I said, that go between putting your problems on the throne or you keeping your high almighty on the throne. So he got a lot of decision making to do, a lot of emphasis to put on, a lot of people to talk to and try to look at and see who's for him and who's against him. And with that being said, everyone in his circle plays a character, a role in this 24-hour event lifestyle that he's living. So it focuses on mental health with athletes. They're suffering from mental deprivation, from decision making, and focusing on their future opposed to what's in front of their face in a natural reaction. It's a lot.
Sounds like it.
It sounds like it. It sounds like it's going to be
a lot.
A phenomenal read. Yes.
It's a lot. So it's so much twists and turns that you will not stop turning the page without knowing like, oh, it's about to be some on this next follow-up. And when I tell you it's a head butter. Like you gonna hate people, you gonna love people. And what I gave people was the vision of the movie in the book. And when you read it, as an actor, you have to have people hate you. That's how you know you're a good actor. You have to have people, when you playing a bad role, but you're a great actor. Look at Denzel, Training Day. We hated Lonzo.
Yeah, we did.
But it was a heck of a movie.
Yeah.
Look at every bad person was a great actor. So one of my stage plays, people hated me in the play. They said, Dontai, I hated you, but man, you were a good actor. I loved you at the end. Because you gave such a phenomenal piece. So I told people, and I said, when I asked God for something to relate to, it's all in this book. When you give something they can relate to, when I tell you gonna hate people, you gonna love people, say, oh man, that's dope. About 20 minutes in, you gonna look, you be like, why? And you gonna be one to put people in a ditch.
Ah,
So,
Wow.
that certainly sounds like that's a good read right there.
that's called intent to win. You gotta have the intentions to win it all. And so that's his intent. He's faced between so many odds that he doesn't know what he's going to come across. He don't know who's for him, who's against him. But his decision making it plays a very pivotal point in a part that you will read and see in the film and the book. And you'll know when. Trust me, you'll know when. It's like missing the heartbeat. You'll know when it happens. Trust me.
Sound like an excellent read.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I hate to get off.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, I hate to get off on a tangent though, my brother. But before you even got into the point of actually giving the description of your book, now you sound like a jack of all trades. Before you actually got into the book itself, you said that you were working out in the oil field.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just expound on that. 2 minutes, real quick. I'm kind of curious about that.
So, honestly, I came back from a security job, and someone said, "You want an opportunity to work out in the industrial industry?" I said, "Yeah, sure." And me, I was young. I'm like, there's nothing I can't dabble in. You got to put your hand in everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Yeah, sure." So my time, I went out to my first project. I went out to LaPlace, Louisiana. It's a very dangerous job. Very dangerous. I've seen people arms get severed off. I've seen accidents. I've seen nitrogen go into a face mask. I almost died a couple times myself, hence my tattoo, Faith. Hence my other tattoo here. This is Louisiana. This is Texas.
Wow.
So you can tell like I was surrounded by angels. And it's so much money to be made, and that's how people go out there. But when you actually ask someone who worked in the oil field, they say, "I bet you it's good money." It's a follow-up question, but I know it's real dangerous. So you see what I'm doing now.
Oh yeah.
I'm on U.S. soil still, and I'm doing what I got to do. But it's very dangerous. I enjoy myself. I met a ton of people out there. I did a hydroblasting, so I did a lot of chemical cleaning too. So all the oil and gases that's produced in the U.S., I help clean those tanks out, and I help fuel jets. I help fuel cars. I help fuel everything, like everything from a bicycle, from a moped to a 10-180 airplane, whatever they call it, the biggest ones out there. I help clean those gas lines. I'm gonna tell you a story about Faith. Real quick, I know it's gonna go over 2 minutes, but we was in Louisiana and was breathing in a gas that we didn't smell, and it's an H2S monitor that stays here, and I always do like the finger, like if I can dig in my nose, that means I can smell it, and I was breathing it in, and I passed, and I breathed in 55 parts per million, and the plant regulation was only 10. So it attacked my brain, it attacked my heart, my immune system. I found myself passing out, and I fell on a 350-degree pipe. And as I'm falling slow time, I see my life flash before me. I see my children, I see my mom, I seen just people, and I asked God, I don't want to die like this. I don't see no burns. I don't see no bruises. I see skin, but I have my faith. And so when you take stuff like that and people, they take life for granted, people never know my story. They always see the pretty smile. Dontai, you got it going on. You got it going on. I almost died a couple times though. I wouldn't be here without that death experience. Mental thought. Let's take that and let that sink in.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the Dontai Keith story. That's what I'm waiting for.
I was just thinking that. Yeah.
Oh
wow.
my goodness.
So when you mention working in the oil field and some of the other ventures you've been in, all those combined come together to make you into the person that you are right now today. So that's why I'm kind of interested in hearing you talk a little further about that.
Yeah. I mean, it's like just who I am today. My purpose in this earth is to help people in a mental growth development stage. Like I find people at a stagnant point in their life, and it's hard to really put mental thought in people's head. So you got to talk mental belief, mental knowledge, and wisdom. I'm 31, but I'm considered an old head to me. Like people all tell me, you've been here before, you've been before, you've been before. I believe I have. And I believe at one point I was a preacher. I was in college, and my classmates and my conductors, my instructors, they said, Dontai, we want you to give a speech at the end of the at graduation. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I was nervous. Honestly, I was nervous. And I was like, no, I'm good. And it was like, no, you got to give a speech. We want to hear, because I used to bring encouragement to my class all the time. They seen them. I made my class laugh. I've been with Father Wisdom. People come to me and they cry. They tell me their go-throughs, their trials and tribulations. I don't know why. It's just the aura around me. And I gave a speech to the point I had at Bojangles Coliseum. No, I'm sorry, Ovens Auditorium here in Charlotte. I had the entire auditorium uproaring when I gave my speech. They told me I outspoke the guest speaker. They told me, I don't know if you're supposed to be a medical assistant, but you damn sure supposed to be a preacher. You know, so my purpose in this world is to just give wisdom, give knowledge, give health, because a lot of people don't know what they go through. I get messages from this day in my messenger saying, Dontai, your message on Facebook 2 years ago helped me today. Your messages 2 weeks ago got me through this death experience that I went through with my mom or my father or my grandparents. You know, stuff that you just, like I said, you got to lay a foundation somewhere on earth that is remembered. Like people not just going to remember me as the guy who always smiled, the guy who was always funny. Dontai had a meaning. Dontai spoke with purpose. Dontai lived this life with will. And that's what I want people to understand. Like, you have to find your niche. You got to find it. And you got to find within your niche, you got to find your muse. Your muse is your level, your complacency, your foundation. What makes you you? What makes you level? Me, drawing. Drawing makes me level. When I'm not doing something, I draw. I put something on paper because I can relate to it. I can see it. I can remember it. I can go back to it. So if you're always doing something that you pay, everybody pays bills online, and then what they do like a week later, did I pay that bill? If you wrote it down, you would remember. Hints. But write it down so you remember it. So I wrote a lot of quotes down, and I'll just give, like, I do like videos sometimes on Facebook. I just put like pivotal quotes on Facebook or Instagram and such like that, so people can look at and they say like, that helped me today. So the Dontai story, I've been living it, and you've been witnessing. I don't have to write a book. I don't gotta tell a story. You can just talk to me. Because a lot of people don't know me. A lot of people think that I'm a high sedity or a bougie. No. Come talk to me first. See why I'm like this. See my life. Hear my life. Understand who I am. And I bet you're going to hang around me a little bit longer than what you probably met me with a 5-minute experience of the conversation. The conversation is only a piece that you can get if you ask. You know, if you smile at somebody who's having a bad day, that made their day. Period. I tell people, I'm a medical assistant, so I speak to all my patients. They come in there they aggravated for time, they have to wait. But by the time they're leaving, they walking out like this. All right now, Dontai, I'll talk to you next week. You have to leave that experience. You have to, it's a follow-up. And when you smile at somebody, you want reciprocation. Whether they're mad or not, they're gonna do this. It may be fake, it may be phony, but you got one out of them, and that's gonna start a conversation. What's bothering you? Give me your why. And then they're gonna give you a surface answer. Like a lot of people in America, they're gonna give you a surface answer of what their why is. but they're not really digging down deep. Like, you got to get deep. Like, y'all are digging deep in my life. Like, this is my life. So I don't have to write a book. I don't got to write a synopsis. Just talk to me. I'll give you everything you need to know in 5 or 10 minutes. And you're going to be like, Dontai, you the coolest dude I know.
I like
that. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing like being authentic and being comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And your spiritual gift of mercy is the comforting aura that brings people to you to say, hey, this is troubling me. This happened to me. And they follow up with that. I don't even know why I told you that, or I can't believe I'm telling you this, because they would not otherwise opened up to anyone. And so having all of that favor, working in doing what you need to do in your purpose and having your spiritual gift, you have so many components to your everyday life. You are nothing but positive energy and helpful and you're just what people need. You probably have people drawn to you, and you don't know why, and they don't know why. From asking you probably random questions in the store about, hey man, I'm trying to buy a basketball for my son, to someone coming to you very personal, and the fact that you operate in that favor without being conceited, without being selfish, being willing to give, being willing to help and be open. It shows. It shows. It comes through this interview tonight. I feel that energy, and I'm just so grateful that we had you on the show. And you're just gonna continue to just be great at whatever you do, because of that. And I think when you act, you're drawing, you probably sing or play an instrument too, don't you?
I can hold a note or two. They used to sound like K. John, but on the ocean. No, I ain't gonna do it to you tonight. Not that's next interview.
I'm gonna hold you to it. I'm gonna hold you to that.
I'm gonna have to call Beyonce for a singing lesson, because I gotta cross that bridge.
You trying to run on us? Okay. Wow. This brother is.
But yeah, I'm gonna give you something else. Like you said, I'm very memorable. I was with a patient. I want to say about a year ago, and I met her when I first started working at the hospital. I work in the emergency room in Atrium Health, and she came to me. I love this lady. I remember her name, and she said, I would not go with any other person because I kept asking people for you. This is a year and some odd months later. She would not go with any other transporter besides me. I walked by, and I'm telling you, it's crazy. I walked by, and I said, Miss such and such. And she said, Dontai, get in here. I've been calling people. I've been asking people for you. And boy, you just so memorable. I can't forget who you are. But what she said was, I've spiritually and mentally adopted you as my son from our last conversation a year and a half ago. So I'm telling you, whatever you got in life, just know that you're very memorable to anybody you come in contact with. And now that you say that, that literally just dawned on me. I'm like, that's crazy, because I don't know why people are drawn to me if they don't know me. And it's just through conversation. And I encourage people today, tomorrow, the next day, you got to be so selfless that you give everyone else all of you, leaving you empty. But mentally, you got to be full. You got to plant seeds in so many people, because the best, let me play it like this, the best foundation you can lay and you can give back to God are the gifts he has given unto you. And that's my art, That's my words. Those my crafts, my gifts, my parenting, my fathering, my husbandship. Anything, that's a new word to me, husbandship. So anything you can do that give back to God, that's your gift. And I'm guaranteed to tell you, it's going to overflow. It's going to overflow. And you have to be willing, you have to be all-knowing to say, like, I accept. Because it's going to come a day, that someone's going to ask you a question that you're not going to want to answer. You know why? Because you truly haven't found yourself. You haven't found your niche. You haven't found your why. You don't know your purpose. And they're going to be like, why am I actually on this earth? Like, why am I here? Why do I really want to help people? Because, you know, you go to anyone else in the medical field, it's like, I want to help you. I want to save lives. Why? What draws you to it? Y'all want to know my why on this Facebook Live at a round table? My why is the fact that when I found out my mom had passed away from HIV, and I'm telling you, years later, they start finding medication and cures. And I went through all phases of my grief. And I resented medicine. But I said, in order for me to be a better person, I have to be an advocate for medicine. So through medicine, I speak to my people for and about medicine. So they won't have to go to the libraries, because, you know, if you go to the doctor's office, they give you this whole pamphlet of which you got to take home. People they put that right in their car in their front seat, put a book bag over it, put some chips over it, some McDonald's burgers and food. They put it right on top of the paper you get them for knowledge. So I'm the advocate through what God gave me, the gift of gab. You have to use your mouth for something better than talking junk. Use it for speaking words of wisdom so people can be wisdom knowledgeably known. Like, dang, if you hadn't told me that, I would never known. I give so many people words of wisdom that I'm like, I need to go around people so they can start talking to me. I need to start plant a seed on me. You know, so I'm like, somebody come talk to me. You know, so that's why I resented medicine. So that's my why. My reason, not behind the medical knowledge I know we can type on the computer, it's the words I can get in my people. Because I treat every patient like a person, not a number. You have to be an advocate of medicine through medicine. And that's what I am to the people. I love every last, I cry with my patients. I'm talking about drawn out tears. I've saved a lot of people from committing suicide when they come here to clinics. The mental stage they in when they come, you will never know unless you talk.
True.
You never know.
Yeah.
You don't want to be a person that's so passive aggressive that you do your job and you leave and you forget why you started.
Right.
A lot of people in the medical field do that. Let's go back to day one. When you were at, oh, I'll get it. Oh, I got it. Let's get that back. Let's get that mentality back and get that heart and brain mentality and sync together. And I bet you and I guarantee you, you won't even worry about a dollar bill, because your abundance and overflow will come fluently once you start following in your purpose. And right now,
lose their passion. They lose their passion.
Exactly. That's it. Let me stop preaching to y'all. Let's talk about more. Come on now.
Hey, no, I saw you with that cloth over there. Pulling it out.
He brought the cloth out.
It is.
Come on.
I used to be in the medical field, Mr. Keith. So everything that you're saying, I am there. I worked in ER, and the last job that I held down while I was there was I was on special IV teams, and I collected specimens and labs and took them to the upper floor. So yeah, you know, when you're on the cancer floor and you're having to draw those labs for those patients, when I'm on pediatrics, whether it's burn unit or, you know, sickle cell, whatever the case, it humbles you and it teaches you to say there's something else out here other than me. There's something else more important than, like you said, your troubles, your struggles. So yeah, I totally identify with it, and I actually had to leave from working in the ER because of it was just too many cases, and kids was the ones that got me the most. So
Oh,
yeah, yeah, but yeah, there's something about you. I knew it. I knew it,
listen,
guys. I knew it. I knew it.
you gotta have them moments, man. I go to the bathroom, I scream, I cry. I'm like, listen, because you gotta come home with your family. It's like, people don't understand. When I never worked in the medical field, I was like, I wonder how busy it is in the streets, And when you work in the emergency department, you would not realize how many people come to the hospital within 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That you won't even see it on the news.
Mm-mm.
And it's like, and I'm worried about something. My life is peaches and cream compared to some of the struggles I've heard and I've heard and I've seen and I've transported through the hospital. I'm like, Dontai, you have nothing to worry about. Let me get, that's when you show your empathy. That's why I get all these empathy classes. You have to show empathy. And if you got to put sympathy and empathy together, it's a magical, it works magic when you have someone who don't know that someone can relate. That's the word of the evening, relate.
Relate. Right.
Relate.
Right.
You have to try to be relatable.
You are very relatable, and I think that's another reason why people are drawn to you as well, not only from the spirit of mercy and the favor that God shines on you to light your path towards those people or those people towards you, but you are very relatable. So they are able to feel that comfort zone and to be able to come to you and say whatever it is, because they know what they're going to get something. People come looking for something. People are hungry. They are thirsty, and they're not always needing food or water. And that's where we have to understand that if you are claiming to follow Christ, and if you are claiming to acknowledge God, you have to understand that we are the people that provides that. We are the people that say, hey, we are supposed to give that to them so they can sustain in this world. So we have 1 minute left into our show. I hate it. Just seems like it goes so fast when we have somebody so good. It just seems to go so fast. No apologies needed. Thank you. So we know about the book. Is there anything else that you would like let our family know that you have coming up, coming out? And also please drop your social media tags and ways that our family can follow you and start to become those people that can receive that knowledge.
Yes, there is a movie that's coming out. It's in pre-production now. So there is a movie to follow up for Intent to Win. When I tell you, go get the book. It's on Amazon. Listen, if you could put $20 in your gas tank, you could put $20 investment of something that's going to be phenomenal. And just a pivotal point with the book itself. You have to, when people don't like to read, period. So I didn't give people a book. I gave them the script. I'm different, baby. What 2 Chainz say? I'm different, girl. I'm different. You gotta do it. You gotta be different, because if you give people the same thing, they get complacent. They were like, I don't want to read a book. It's the same as every other one. Don't judge this book by the cover. Just open it up a little bit. I'm gonna give you something. See that right there? That's totally different, right? That look different. That's different. So I'm gonna read a little piece real quick. Give me 1 second, so y'all can give something.
Okay.
Coach Alex. Yeah, okay. So somebody robbed me after our session earlier, and now Montreal is threatening my life, saying if I don't have the money by a certain time, he's going to make me wish I was never born. You get moments like that you got a picture like, dang, what did he go through? What happened? Who robbed him? What? So now you're going to want to go buy that book on Amazon, baby. It's on Kindle. It's on Amazon. We got a movie coming out next year. We're going to start filming. We making moves. And like I said, everything I put on paper, I got to build a foundation for the next person to apply to. I'm applying pressure 2020. So 2021, oh, listen, we winning. And if you ain't winning out here, you better follow my social media site so you can join the win train. And that's Dontai Keith. That's Dontai, first name Keith, last name Keith. That's Facebook. My name on Instagram is Black Champagne, BLACCHAMPAGNE. And like I said, just follow me. I'll give you more than you can chew. So the like they call you to bite. Listen, they better have a whole stomach full of digestion because they're gonna have a lot to chew on when they finish with me. Like I have a lot of stuff coming up. I have a lot of stuff coming up that's gonna be very, very emotional, it's gonna be pivotal to a lot of people in America. I'm gonna say that. It's gonna be, like I said, it's gonna be relatable. A lot of people told me, I'm gonna tell you, one person told me, they said, Dontai, they messaged me at 3 o'clock in the morning and said, Dontai, I read your synopsis. You have $1 million piece that any director would love to have. So if you're a director, you know anybody out there, send them my way. I love to collaborate. It's not about compounding the money, baby. It's about compounding the people. Connections. If you have your strong connections, and I want to connect with everybody on this podcast, afterwards, off the clock, off the camera, because there's so much more that you're capable of doing if you put your mind to it.
Right.
Like my mama name is Nadine. That's what I used to say. Mama Nadine always said, when there's a will, there is a way.
It's a way.
Yeah.
It's a
So
way.
DK drops the paper towel, shoots the ball. We in there, baby. We in there.
Well, family, y'all heard it first right here. Shouts out to Melody Williams Johnson. She's been chiming in and posting and such. The people have been chiming in. Y'all get a chance, watch this show again and definitely share it with your friends, your mom and them, your dad and them, grandma, auntie,
Yes.
and even Uncle Fred who's back there drinking.
Not
Get
Uncle
everybody
Fred.
on here right now.
Never
And
Too
let
Young
them
Productions.
check
Thank
this.
you so
Yeah.
much. Never Too Young Productions. I appreciate you.
Yes, and we definitely have to say thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for so much. This has been such a treat. Thank you for coming and reaching out to At the Round Table and feeling that we were worthy enough to have this young king on our show. So we are so
Yes.
appreciative. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
honored. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
All right, family. It's that time in which we hate to do it, but we gotta go. But
Gotta go.
again, get a chance, watch it again. It'll be on YouTube, our YouTube channel as well. Share it with everybody, and y'all stay tuned. We're gonna have another banging show. This one right here, just okay. This one right here was that. But stay tuned. We got another one that's gonna be coming up next Wednesday as well. It's your people, Adrian A. Money Biddle, Melissa Pitbull Bartlett, and this humble guy, Kerry Digsby. Thank y'all once again for joining us on At the Round Table. It's the Positive Side of Media. We'll see y'all soon. Peace.
All right.
Bye, family.
One love. Be safe.